I suck at staying employed, and I suck even more at horror games. So today I've picked 5 real life jobs, and I've tried to find the scariest horror game possible for each one. To keep things interesting, at the end of each game we're going to be filing a workplace report. On the report we've got how many times I shit myself, and how much I need to be paid to work there in real life. By the end of this video, we will know the scariest place to work. For the first game on this list, we're working as a night shift security guard. Also, this is a Japanese horror game, so basically we're just cooked. It started with a cutscene of me driving to work. As soon as I got in the building, there was already a creepy figure walking in the hallway. Okay, who was that? In this game, my job was simple. I just had to go through each room and kick out whoever the f was still at work and go up to the next floor. And I thought that seemed pretty simple. I mean, that's how it went. I just did my job, went through the floors. Nothing that out of the ordinary really happened to begin with. Other than the few like odd tapes on these TVs that I found. And then this woman that I kicked out, she actually hit on me. I got that motion. It was actually quite a nice job. It was just peaceful until some freaky shit started happening. I found one of these creepy tapes again. I watched the whole thing and then the door shut on its own behind me. I actually don't know if I can do this. One jump scare and I am cooked. Literally anything could make me tweak out in a horror game. It's little things like this that just really make me want to just stop playing the game. When I got to the next floor, there was a printer printing itself, and there was a light flickering. And when I went to investigate the light, at this point I would usually just Alt F4. I got in the elevator and went up to the next floor, where all the lights were out, and I had to go find a fuse. The fuse is missing. And that's when I found a door that led me through this river of blood, and I thought surely the fuse would be down here. And this river of blood turned out to be a maze, but at the end of it I did find a fuse. But on the way back I encountered something a lot worse. I then decided to just make a break for it. Real quick for some context, I get terrified if anything chases me in a horror game. So when I got out of this maze, it sounded like Squidward Tentacles himself was just like chasing me. What is that? What is that? What is that? Put the fuse in the thing. So I turned around to this woman staring at me. There was no jump scare noise and I still shit myself. I then had to play a little mini game of Five Nights at Freddy's where I looked at all the cameras. I then saw some like yandere shit going on. Then I saw this horrifying looking tall figure standing outside of the room that I was monitoring the cameras in. What is that? That's outside my room. And at this point I was thinking, what is even going on? We've got some corpse party shit going on. And this creepy ass woman like chasing me around the workplace. I was ready to quit. I went outside the room to check and obviously he just wasn't there. So I moved on, went up to the next floor and there was this like weird lady cleaning up blood all over the floor. Nothing too creepy happened for a few levels and then I got to this level. So I walked down this corridor and that creepy ass bitch from earlier was on the TV. And then I thought for sure the game would have ended here, but no, it got even worse. I then made it to the last level, where I had to scavenge the whole level to find a cable and do a little mini game to get a tape out of a safe. And once I turned this TV on, it was a lot different from the rest. I can't stay here anymore. Let's get out of here. I was so happy with this glimpse of hope that I could now leave. No! I then had to run as fast as I could away from this entity. I then had to input a code on this wall to actually finish the game. Where is it? I don't see it. And after a few attempts, I was able to get the code right, but then the monster sort of just chased me in circles until I was then able to get into the elevator and finally leave. And that is when I woke up here. And I was thinking, hell yeah, we beat the game. And then of course, she had to appear again. Holy cinema, that game was so good. So for the report on this game, the game didn't have many jump scares, but it didn't need them. I thought it was absolutely hilarious how scared I was in this chase scene. You can see how locked in I am. So just because of that, I would still say I definitely shit myself at least 3 times. And for how much you need to pay me to work there, I'm never working there. Overall rating based on scariness, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. So in this next game, we're working on a farm. And basically my task is to just feed the chickens. Bruh. Nah, you guys are creepy. You're being made straight into KFC, bro. So I first headed into the barn, where I then found a bucket, which then I was able to feed my chickens with. And then I headed back into the barn to put the bucket away, and... what the shitting hell is that? This random ass capybara came out of nowhere and demanded food. And I basically just told him to piss off. I don't have any food for you. This game gets super freaking weird from this point onward. See, now I would have just fed him because now he's going to come back and like give me back shots or something. So I then went to bed and then I woke up to my chickens making a load of noise. What is that noise tonight? Check the window. So here it is, the first time I got a little bit scared in this game. Well, there's like this scarecrow looking thing looking right back at me and it's horrifying. Is that a scarecrow? That got me so bad. I mean, I was just not expecting it. I've just dropped like 5 things on the floor. I do not want to keep playing this game anymore. I need to feed my chickens. So right back to it, I went back to feed my chickens and then there was a couple missing. Why are there fewer chickens? Probably because Michael Jackson was at our window. Who did all this? It was quite hard to take the game seriously at this point, but I just tried my hardest to get on with my job and feed my 2 chickens. I think I need to rest in the cabin now. I will rest in the cabin, but this time with my headphones off. What a silly jump scare. I then basically got made into a chicken by this capybara, and then they dropped some like crazy lore on me. We are actually planning our revenge? Because you didn't give us food. Now you will become our food. Enough talking, you will be executed now. And then they hit me with some like tribal dance, and then that was it, the end. Or maybe, just maybe, I was tweaking out in my sleep. What a strange dream last night. This time, if I meet a capybara, I need to feed it. So I did the usual stuff, I fed my chickens, and then the capybara showed up again. But this time, I fed it. Please take this food. So I fed the capybara and I ordered him to return the bucket to my barn at night. I was kind of scared going to sleep that someone would turn up at my window again, but instead I got this. My name is Kacipbara. Thank you for giving me food. Let's sit outside for a while. So then the game got like really sad and deep, and I was actually ready to cry. I had really done this capybara dirty. This is my way of repaying your kindness. Wow, thank you so much, Kacipbara. Who the fuck is this guy? And then that was basically it. The game just finished. What the shit just happened? I'm gonna be honest and say I shit myself probably only twice, but to the degree of how much I got scared, I'm gonna have to put it in the fairly scary tier. To be honest, I would do it for free as long as I keep the capybaras fed, but because of how scary that thing at the window was, I'm gonna have to do it for $15 an hour at least. I would like you guys in the comments below to tell me how much you would need to be paid to work here. For the overall rating based on scariness, I'm gonna have to give it a rating of 3 stars. In this next game, we are a dog sitter. Basically, our main task is to just take care of the dog. When I first got into this game, I could not help but notice how beautiful the game was. I love games with this style. Oh, that's my dog. Oh, isn't he so cute? At this point, I was thinking, how could this game ever become scary? Hi, buddy. Follow the dog? Okay. Ah, he's hungry. And then the game said to get the food in the basement. Why is it in the basement? I went down into the basement and I took forever to look for this food, but eventually I found it. Food! I then followed my dog outside where we then played fetch. And to be completely honest, it was probably now that I started to feel a little bit uncomfortable in this game. Something just didn't feel right. After playing fetch, the dog just kind of like passed out and I had to go in the basement again to find water this time. Why is everything in the basement though? When I went back in the house to go look for the water, the whole vibe was just like different. It's safe to say my timbers were shivered at this point. Hello, what happened? I chose to try and just ignore that and just continue with my job as normal. So I went back down to the basement and tried to find the water. Haha. But anyway, I went on the search for the dog and I could not find him anywhere. I searched every room until I found some sort of entity outside the window. Where's my dog? I've got your water. Why is my dog buff as shit?
He is not hungry anymore. He is not hungry anymore.
That is some creepy shit. So I didn't realize I had to run away from him because he just kills me. So unfortunately I had to play the whole game again. But this time when I got to this part, I ran away from him and locked all the doors and tried to just go to bed. So I woke up to a smashed window and a note was left on the floor that read out, "The knife downstairs may work." Nah, we're not gonna kill our own dog, are we? I mean, he's pretty creepy looking, so it's probably for the best. So I then went downstairs to look for this knife. And when I found it, everything got super creepy. Take care of the dog? I didn't realize that the whole point of the game was to actually just kill the dog. So when I got upstairs, I then finally found the dog, and there he was, prepared for what was about to come. It just has to be done. I don't think anything could have prepared me for what happened next. So there it was, the dog just being ascended. Clearly I sent him to a better place. And that was it. I mean, I took care of the dog, I guess. So for the report on this weirdly interesting game, I'm gonna have to say not even close, baby. The game was terrifying, especially when he chased me with enchantment table language. But the game lacked a jump scare. And for how much I'd need to be paid to work here, I'm gonna have to say $100 an hour, because the game might have been quite chill, but I'm not working anywhere where I have to kill and sacrifice my own dog. 2 stars. In this game, we're working as a fast food worker. The game started with a phone call from a guy called Michael. He decides to tell me that the last person that worked here basically just died, and then all of a sudden my first customer showed up. She ordered a hot dog and I cooked up some absolute fire for her. Very nice. Oh, they're burning. I mean, at this point the game was actually quite fun. It's just a fast food simulator, right? Oh my god, bro. Watching this back, that was just not scary. The thing that was actually scary was I actually had to use my brain and work a real job. A coffee, burger, and a hot dog? So I made this dude's order, and then he said this. Oh, good one. Yeah, you got me. Not only did this guy just hit me with an abracadabra, but he also didn't pay. Like, what the fuck? Hey, can I ask you something? Aren't you scared of working here alone after hearing what happened to the last guy? What happened? Yeah, I'm quitting my job. Like, oh my fucking god, bro. My wife just left me. I need something to kill the pain. Give me 5 beers. So I got this guy 5 beers. And then that was it. That was my shift over. We get to go home? Hell yeah. But then we were thrown into an even scarier shift the next day. It was the guy that ran off and didn't even pay. Did you just refuse to serve your master? You've made a huge mistake. You will pay for this. What was that? Anyway, the game went on and there were a bunch of weird NPCs saying weird things that made no sense. Did you know that crocodiles can't stick their tongues out? And then this guy came in and he told me about some guy who was drunk driving. I heard his wife left him for another dude. Police found alcohol in his blood. And then I realized that it was probably the guy that I gave 5 beers to the night before. Really? I then just decided to crack on and get through night 3 as quick as possible. Oh, not again. What is with it with these cheap jump scares? And that is basically what the rest of the game was. And then to finish this game off, I was left a beautiful little surprise. Present. For the report, I would say I shit myself probably more than 5 times. This was a very jump scare heavy game. And for how much to pay me to work there, I'm not gonna lie, I would do it for $15 an hour. And the overall rating based on scariness, I'm gonna give it a 2 because there may have been jump scares, but I didn't really feel scared. So in this next game, I'm working as an engineer, and basically my task is to just go into these houses and fix the lights. So after walking for about 5 minutes, I found the first house. And once I got in, I just went up the stairs, flicked some fuses in a fuse box, and that was it, job done. And then I went back out on the street looking for the next house. And when I found this house, things were a little bit off. And I'm not gonna lie, the next portion of this game probably scarred me for life. Hell nah. Any smart person would just quit their job and go home. But obviously the game had different plans. So when I got into this apartment, I sort of looked about. Every room was clear until I went into this room. Oh my god, I need to call the cops. Yeah, obviously the line is broken. So after seeing this, I just sprinted out of the apartment and then I was met with this. Okay. What the fuck was that? I don't think I've ever been scared that much. I then had to go to another house. This time I was spooked the hell out. Should really invest in like a vehicle. I don't know what's going to be in this house. So I then went into the next house and there was clearly something wrong with this one too. Normal day at work. Then I started to hear like these ramping footstep noises and I honestly shit myself. Then I just went downstairs and the footsteps got 10 times louder. And then when I left the house, well, just watch. At this point, I was wondering what the shit did I download? I mean, it looks like GM Construct. What? Run from what? At this point, I was thinking, what is even going on? Like, am I tripping? And it only got worse. I mean, the building started floating. There was actually planes flying past my head. I somehow managed to outrun this guy, and I got to this, like, magical door. As it would with anyone else, this shit gave me the chills. I mean, just look at it. Like, what even is that? I was expecting, like, a jump scare or something, but the game just kind of ended, which was a shame because I really enjoyed that. So for the report, I would say I definitely shit myself more than 3 times. This game was atmospherically terrifying. For how much you need to pay me to work there, you're going right in the you can fuck off tier. And for the overall rating based on how scary the game was, I'm gonna give it a solid 3. If the game was longer and finished, then it might creep up to a 4, but for now, I'm gonna leave it at 3. So here's the summary of all the reports from the games in this video. I guess you can be the judge of which one was the scariest place to work. Me personally, night security all the way. Comment down below what games you want me to play next. I shall see you guys in the next one. Make sure you have yourself a good day.